Bedtime Story: The Cat Who Was Afraid of the Dark. Chapter 1: Mia and the Scary Night. In a small countryside house surrounded by tall trees, there lived a soft white-furred cat named Mia, with her friend, a little girl named Emily. Mia loved the daytime. She would play with Emily in the garden, chasing butterflies under the warm sunlight. But as soon as the sun set, casting its dark, shadowy cloak over the room, Mia's heart would race. She'd crawl fearfully under the bed, curling into a tiny ball. "Don't be scared, Mia. The night is beautiful," Emily would call out every evening, but Mia couldn't believe it. Strange sounds echoed outside, the rustling leaves whispering in a secret language, the creaking of the old wooden door as if laughing at her, and the distant howl of the wind, like an unknown moan. She imagined the darkness hiding monsters with glowing eyes, waiting to pounce if she dared to venture out. One night, as Mia trembled in her usual hiding spot, Emily noticed her shivering. Deciding to leave the window slightly open, she said, "Maybe your little heart needs a friend to show you the night's beauty." True enough, at midnight, moonlight slipped through the window, painting silver rays on the floor. Yet Mia remained wary until she heard a soft whisper. "Don't you want to see the secret world that only appears when humans sleep?" Chapter 2: Meeting Oliver the Owl. The sky was heavy with clouds, and the wind played with the leaves in the cold embrace of a rainy autumn night. As usual, Mia hid under the bed, peeking through a small gap to watch raindrops dance on the window pane. Suddenly, she heard a strange hissing sound, mingling with the rain's murmur, like a call from another world. Cautiously, she crept toward the slightly open window and saw a large shadow fluttering gently on a nearby tree branch. "Who's there?" Mia whispered, her voice trembling. The shadow leaned toward her, and suddenly, two large golden eyes glowed. In the dark, their owner was a grey-feathered owl with a wise, reassuring presence. He said in a voice as soft as the night breeze, "I'm Oliver, the guardian of night's secrets. Don't you want to see the beauty hidden in the shadows?" Curiosity began to outweigh Mia's fear. "But how aren't you scared of the dark?" she asked. Oliver flew down to perch on the windowsill and replied, "The dark isn't an enemy. It's the key to wonders. Here, fireflies glow like earthly stars. Frogs sing symphonies of life, and flowers sleep to dream of new colors. Will you dare to see this world with me?" Oliver's words rang in Mia's ears like magical music. For the first time, her heart didn't pound with fear, but with longing. Chapter 3: Journey to the Firefly Garden. With her curiosity burning brighter than her fear, Mia decided to follow Oliver on her first adventure beyond the window. The wise owl gently carried her on his back, gliding through the rain-kissed forest, where droplets shimmered under moonlight like liquid diamonds. Mia felt the warmth of Oliver's feathers against her fur as the wind hummed a secret melody around them. They arrived at the Firefly Garden, a magical place where flowers glowed by day but transformed into a theater of light by night. Suddenly, hundreds of golden specks burst from the grass, dancing in the air like stars escaped from the sky. "Look, these are fireflies, the night's artists," Oliver declared proudly. But Mia's joy was short-lived. She noticed a colossal shadow creeping toward her from behind an ancient tree. "A monster! Watch out!" she screamed. Oliver smiled calmly. "That's just the tree's shadow, Mia. It's guarding the sleeping flowers. Look up." Mia lifted her gaze and saw the tree's towering branches forming a protective dome over a rare blue flower, glowing like a jewel in a treasure chest. In that moment, she realized shadows weren't always scary. Sometimes they cradle beauty. Chapter 4. The Secret of Freddy the Frog. As Mia prepared to return home with Oliver, a faint croak from the shimmering lily pond caught her attention. She crept closer and saw a tiny green frog hiding under a giant lily pad, trembling like an autumn leaf in the wind. "Do you fear the night too?" asked the frog in a shaky voice, staring at Mia with wide eyes like pools of liquid gold. Mia replied, surprised, "I fear the dark, but why are you here?" The little frog shrank back. "I'm Freddy, and I fear daylight. The sun blinds me. Loud noises terrify me. The night is my safe world." Mia was puzzled. But how? Daytime is full of warmth and colors. Freddy whispered, "Everyone sees beauty differently. Don't you see how stars glow at night? Or how insects sing the symphony of darkness?" Chapter 5. Dancing with Shadows. Under the silver moonlight, Mia stood in the heart of the forest, with Oliver and Freddy, gazing at her elongated shadow, painted by the moon on the ground. "Would you like to learn to dance with shadows?" Oliver, his smile now familiar to Mia. "But how?" she whispered, her heart still pounding. Freddy pointed his tiny foot toward a nearby tree. "Look, when you move, your shadow moves like a loyal friend." Mia flicked her tail playfully, and her shadow danced on the ground like a living mirror. For the first time since her adventure began, Mia laughed. "It's mimicking me," Oliver said. "Shadows aren't just dark silhouettes. They're playmates that emerge when bright light sleeps. Watch this." He flapped his wings, and his shadow morphed into a dragon-like giant, then into a blooming flower. Mesmerized, Mia imitated him, and her shadow transformed into a cat soaring with imaginary wings. "You're a natural," cheered Freddy, hopping joyfully as his shadow leaped across imaginary lily paths. By the night's end, Mia realized shadows weren't enemies, but a secret language of play and discovery. Chapter 6. The Mystery of the Dark Tunnel. As Mia, Oliver, and Freddy returned from the Firefly Garden, they heard faint cries echoing from a dark tunnel, shrouded by dense trees. Mia froze, her heart pounding like a tiny drum. "This tunnel is too scary," she whispered, but the sound of weeping tugged at her curiosity. Oliver encouraged her. "Sometimes, courage begins with one step into the dark." Freddy added, "Maybe someone needs our help." Mia decided to step forward, entering the tunnel, slowly, with Oliver lighting the way, using his golden eyes. The air was cold and damp, carrying the scent of ancient earth. Suddenly, a tiny voice called out, "Is anyone here? I'm scared." Mia rushed toward the sound and found a small grey kitten with wide blue eyes trembling under a hanging rock. "I'm Whiskers," the kitten cried. "I lost my mom and can't find my way back." Mia gently hugged Whiskers. "Don't worry, we'll help you." She turned to Oliver. "Do you know a safe way out?" Oliver nodded, guiding them through narrow passages until they reached the tunnel's exit. Outside, the sky glittered with stars, as if celebrating Mia's bravery. Whiskers said, "Thank you. I didn't know darkness could hide friends like you." Mia smiled, feeling a pride she'd never known. She'd discovered that fear is conquered only by kindness and courage. Chapter 7. The Wisdom of Eldrood Tree. After rescuing Whiskers, Mia and her team decided to visit the ancient oak tree Eldrood, whom Oliver had mentioned. Upon arrival, they found its massive trunk, adorned with mysterious carvings, glowing under moonlight. "Welcome, friends of the night," the tree whispered, in a voice like rustling ancient leaves. "How do you know us?" Mia asked, amazed. Eldrood replied, I've watched this forest for centuries. Darkness is my ally, hiding life's secrets beneath the soil. Come, I'll show you something. The tree slowly shifted a root, revealing a tiny golden seed resembling a droplet of light. This seed grew in darkness and will become a mighty tree someday. Darkness isn't emptiness. It's the cradle of life. Mia gently touched the seed, feeling a strange warmth fill her heart. But why does everyone fear it? She asked. The tree smiled. Fear of the unknown is natural, but discovery turns it into awe. Seek hidden beauty, and your darkness will fade. Mia left carrying the seed as a reminder, determined to see darkness with new eyes. Chapter 8. The Stars Speak. Under a clear sky, Oliver took Mia to a high hilltop dense with stars. Close your eyes and listen, said the owl, tilting his large ears skyward. Mia obeyed, and suddenly heard soft whispers, like crystalline bells. What are they saying? She asked in wonder. Oliver replied, The stars sing of joy and hope. See, that blue star tells you, you're stronger than you think. Mia gazed at the sky, watching a star twinkle rhythmically like her heartbeat. She felt the universe wrap her in warm arms. Suddenly, a clear voice said, Mia, courage is your inner light. She looked around, but only Oliver was there. The stars speak to those who listen with their hearts, not ears, he said. Carrying her on his back, they soared over the starlit forest, as Mia repeated inwardly, I am brave. Chapter 9. The Monster That Was an Illusion. As Mia wandered the forest at night with Oliver and Freddie, she suddenly noticed a strange shadow moving between the trees. A massive, terrifying shape, with antlers like the branches of a dead tree. She froze, her white fur bristling, and whispered, Look, a monster is watching us. Wait, it might be a trick of the light, Oliver said wisely. But Mia had already started running. She darted through the trees, her heart pounding like a wild drum, until she tripped over a protruding root and fell. When she turned around, she saw the shadow approaching with heavy steps. But suddenly, she heard a soft chuckle. Don't be scared. I'm Daisy, the forest deer, the shadow said in a gentle voice, revealing a brown deer with eyes glowing like honey. My large antlers look monstrous in the dark, but I only eat leaves, she added, munching a leaf delicately. Mia was puzzled. But your shadow was terrifying. Daisy smiled. Darkness exaggerates things sometimes, but the truth is often simpler. Come, I'll show you my favorite spot. Daisy led Mia to hidden meadows, where flowers glowed at night. There, Mia played with Daisy's elongated shadow, which morphed into artistic shapes under the moonlight. She realized imagination could deceive her, but curiosity and courage always reveal the truth. Chapter 10. The Warm Leaf Bed. A violent night storm shook the forest, the wind howling like a wounded wolf. Mia hid under a large rock, trembling at the thunder splitting the sky. Don't worry, I'll make you a warm shelter, Oliver said, then swiftly flew between trees, returning minutes later with a pile of golden maple leaves, soft as silk. This bed is just for you, he said, carefully arranging the leaves under the rock. Mia crawled inside, surprised the leaves felt as warm as a blanket woven from sunlight. How did you do this? She asked. Autumn leaves hold memories of the warmth they absorbed all summer. Darkness cradles them until they warm those in need. Oliver replied. As rain hammered the ground outside, Mia felt safe in the night for the first time. She realized darkness doesn't just hide dangers, it also shelters sanctuaries. Chapter 11. the Firefly Festival. The fireflies invited Mia and her friends to their annual festival deep in the forest. Upon arrival, Mia saw thousands of lights dancing in the air, forming shapes like hearts and trees. "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," she whispered in awe. A blue firefly named Sky approached, placing a necklace of golden lights around Mia's neck. "This necklace lets you dance with the wind," Sky said. Mia noticed her shadow had transformed into a glowing shape, mirroring her movements. Oliver joined the dance with outstretched wings, while Freddie leapt in a game of light tag with the fireflies. By midnight, the forest became a living painting, and Mia learned darkness is the canvas where nature paints its finest art. Chapter 12. The Bear Who Hoarded Secrets. On their way home, they passed a cave carved into a rocky mountain. Out came a massive bear named Benny, holding a notebook filled with drawings and words. "I've collected night stories for years," Benny said softly. He opened the notebook to Mia, revealing tales of stars that fell and became flowers, and children who turned fears into songs. Then he pointed to a page with a white cat. "This story is about you. The fireflies told me of your bravery." Mia blushed. "But I'm not brave. I used to fear the dark." Benny shook his head. "Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's the step you take after it. Write your story here." Mia wrote, "Darkness was my teacher. It showed me light grows from within." Bedtime story: The Cat Who Was Afraid of the Dark. Chapter 1. Mia and the Scary Night. In a small countryside house surrounded by tall trees, there lived a soft white-furred cat named Mia, with her friend, a little girl named Emily. Mia loved the daytime. She would play with Emily in the garden, chasing butterflies under the warm sunlight. But as soon as the sun set, casting its dark, shadowy cloak over the room, Mia's heart would race. She'd crawl fearfully under the bed, curling into a tiny ball. "Don't be scared, Mia. The night is beautiful." Chapter 13. The Big Test. One morning, as Emily played with Mia in the garden, Oliver arrived, carrying a message from Freddie the Frog. "I need your help to reach the pond before sunset, but you must come alone." Anxiety flashed across Mia's face. "What if I get lost or meet a monster?" Oliver whispered, "Fear is like a shadow. It vanishes when you face it. You're ready for this test." After sunset, Mia ventured out alone, wearing the firefly necklace Sky had given her. The forest buzzed with croaks and whispers, but she remembered Eldrood's words. Darkness is life's cradle. At the pond, she found Freddie trembling under a rock. "I'm scared to go into the water at night. There might be big fish." Mia hugged him. "We'll go together." She held his tiny hand and led him to the water's edge, where the moon painted a glowing path on the surface. "Look, the only fish here is a tiny golden one." Mia laughed as Freddie leaped joyfully into the water. On her return, Mia felt a new confidence. She had become a leader, not just a follower. Chapter 14. The Treasure Under the Moon. One night, as Mia sat with Oliver on a high branch, an old tattered map fell from his pocket. "What's this?" she asked curiously. Oliver replied, "A map to a mysterious treasure buried centuries ago. They say it reveals the truth of whoever finds it." Mia decided to hunt for the treasure, following the map's lines to a cave draped in ivy. At the entrance, a warning was carved in strange letters. "Who enters must face the mirror of their soul." Mia entered with a pounding heart, illuminated by her firefly necklace. Deep inside, she found a wooden box engraved with stars and a moon. She opened it hesitantly. and gasped at a small mirror glowing on its own. Her reflection showed not her usual self, but a brave cat surrounded by a golden halo of light. "This is the real you," said Oliver, who'd followed silently. "The treasure isn't gold. It's seeing yourself as the universe intended." Mia cradled the mirror reverently, realizing the light she'd sought wasn't outside. It had always been within her. Chapter 15. The night of black clouds. An unprecedented storm swept through the forest, thick clouds blotting out the moon and stars, plunging the night into an abyss of pure darkness. Animals hid in their burrows, while Mia trembled under an ancient tree like autumn leaves. "Even the fireflies are gone," she whispered, her voice breaking. Suddenly, she heard the powerful flap of wings. Oliver flew toward her, clutching a glowing branch from Eldrood Tree in his beak. This magic branch shines with love, but its light needs brave hearts to glow. The owl's eyes gleamed like twin stars in the dark. Mia summoned her courage and grasped the branch. Instantly, a faint golden light emanated from it, spreading like a wave through the night. Watching the darkness retreat, she cried, "Friends, come closer! The more we gather, the brighter the light." The animals rallied around her. Whiskers, the kitten, Freddy the frog, even Benny the bear. Together, they carried small lit twigs from the magic branch. With each step, the circle of light expanded until the forest seemed cloaked in gold. By dawn, the clouds vanished and the moon smiled down. Oliver said, "Darkness fears unity, but light triumphs when we stand together." Mia realized true fear isn't darkness, but surrendering to it. Chapter 16. The Message from Beyond. While wandering along the riverbank at night, Mia spotted a shimmering glass bottle trapped between rocks. Inside, it was a yellowed paper with a message. "To whoever finds this, I'm Bella, the cat who feared darkness until her last breath. Don't repeat my mistake. Seek the light within your heart." Mia's paws trembled as she read. She asked Oliver, "Do you know who Bella was?" The owl replied sadly, "She was a cat who lived here years ago. Her fear of darkness hid her from the world, but her message now lights the way for others." Mia decided to reply. She wrote on a new paper, "Thank you, Bella. I found the light through my friends. I'll teach others not to fear." She placed the note in the bottle and tossed it into the river, where it drifted away like a promise of hope. Before leaving, Mia saw a slender cat shadow walking toward the horizon. She smiled, knowing Bella had finally found peace. Chapter 17. The Battle with Doubt Days. After her epic journey, Mia woke at night to a mysterious creaking sound from Emily's closet. Despite all she'd learned, a dark thought slithered in. What if the darkness deceived me all along? It felt as if her old fear's ghost had wrapped its icy arms around her, making her shrink into a corner. "No, I won't surrender now," she whispered, recalling the magic mirror from the cave. She pulled it from under her pillow, staring at its glowing reflection. "You're stronger than your fear," a phrase she'd scribbled on its frame. Mia ventured into the garden, where clouds veiled the moon. Hearing sudden rustling behind a bush, she spun around, only to find Freddy leaping joyfully. "I'm practicing night jumps. Isn't it awesome?" Mia laughed at her misunderstanding, then joined him, her firefly necklace lighting their path. At dawn, she wrote in Benny's journal, "Doubt is like fog. It fades when you move toward the light." Chapter 18. Oliver's Birthday. Mia and her friends decided to prepare a surprise for Oliver's birthday, the wise owl who had transformed her life. They secretly gathered in Benny the Bear's cave, planning a paper lantern festival lit by fireflies and stars. Whiskers painted decorations with night colours, deep blue, silver, and purple. Meanwhile, Freddie collected glowing flowers from Eldrood's garden. On the celebration night, Mia hung lanterns between the trees, writing, "Wishes for Oliver" on each. May your eyes always see hidden beauty. Every shadow has a story waiting to be told. When Oliver arrived, he marveled at the forest glowing like a tiny galaxy, while the animals sang a song Benny had composed. O guardian of night, you who light the way, with your grand heart, you melt darkness like honey in May. Mia danced, with her shadow under the lights, as Oliver said with a tear in his eye, "This is the greatest gift, seeing my friends light the world with their hearts." By night's end, Mia wrote in her journal, "Darkness smiles when we fill it with love." Chapter 19, The New Teacher. On a sunny morning, as Mia rested under the shade of the ancient Eldrood oak tree, a small kitten with light grey fur and moon-like eyes approached her. "Are you Mia?" the kitten asked timidly, her voice like a breeze. "I heard you learned not to fear the dark. Can you teach me to be brave like you?" Mia smiled, recalling her early days hiding under the bed. "Welcome, Tilly. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's the step you take after it. Want me to show you a night secret?" Mia led Tilly to the firefly garden, where tiny golden specks danced like escaped stars. "Look! Fireflies light the path, even in the darkest moments. The dark isn't an enemy. It's an artist's brush, painting a new world." But Tilly shivered when a mysterious rustle echoed behind them. "Don't worry, that's the tree's shadow guarding sleeping. Flowers," Mia said warmly, remembering her first lesson with Oliver. "Come, let's learn to dance with shadows." They leapt and twirled, chasing shadows shaped like winged cats. Warm laughter filled the air until they heard faint cries from a nearby dark tunnel. Tilly glanced at Mia anxiously. "What if there's a monster inside?" Mia held Tilly's paw. "Courage starts with one step. Let's explore together." Using her firefly necklace as a lantern, they entered the tunnel and found a tiny white kitten lost from its mother. "Don't cry, we'll help you," Tilly declared with newfound confidence. After reuniting the kitten with its mother, Tilly grinned at Mia. "I think I get it now. Bravery is like a tiny light that grows in the heart." On their way back, a glowing butterfly fluttered around them, as if celebrating. Mia whispered, "Sometimes we learn from each other more than we teach. Today, you taught me fear melts when shared." Chapter 20, The Moon Witnesses, The Change. Mia and Emily sat on the rooftop at night, wrapped in a warm blanket, like a mother's embrace. The sky was clear as a black lake, scattered with pearls, and the full moon watched them, like a loving eye witnessing transformation. "Remember when you hid under the bed every night?" Emily asked with a grin. Mia laughed. "Those were strange days. I thought darkness hid monsters, but it hid beautiful secrets instead." As they spoke, Oliver, Freddie, Whiskers, and Tilly fluttered around them like a band of dreams. "Oliver," I said, "darkness is like a book with a black cover. You'll never know its story unless you open it," Freddie added with a playful leap. "And I love flipping through it with you." Mia lifted her gaze to the moon, whispering as if addressing an old friend. "Thank you. Without darkness, I'd never have known light could live in my heart." Emily helped tie a string of fireflies around Mia's neck, making her glow like royalty. Before closing her eyes, Mia looked toward the horizon, where Earth met sky. She saw her long shadow dancing with a fearful, older version of herself, until the latter melted into light. She realized the journey wasn't just about conquering fear. but about finding herself. Chapter 21. The Secret Behind Fireflies' Colours. On a quiet night, as Mia strolled with Oliver along the riverbank, she noticed something odd. Some fireflies glowed their usual gold, but a few shimmered in rare hues, like blue and violet. She approached a shy blue firefly, hiding among leaves, and whispered, "Why is your colour different?" The tiny firefly, named Sky, trembled and said softly, "Our colours reflect our personalities. Gold ones are bold, but I'm scared to shine brightly, so no one notices me." Mia's heart ached, reminded of her own fearful days. "I used to hide under the bed," she said, "but I learned true beauty lies in our uniqueness." "Don't you want the world to see your special light?" Oliver suggested. "What if we create a night show where you reveal your colour's beauty?" Sky refused at first, but Mia, despite the challenge of holding a firefly's hand, convinced her to try. The friends gathered forest creatures around the pond for a spectacle. Gold fireflies formed a crown, spiders spun silver threads, while Sky glowed at the centre with her enchanting blue, like a celestial gem. The crowd marvelled, cheering for Sky, who shone brighter than ever. Before dawn, Sky told Mia, "Thank you. I didn't know my difference was a strength." Mia replied, "Darkness always reminds us, light comes in all colours, and each is beautiful." Chapter 22. The Night the Moon Disappeared. One night, the forest awoke to a horrifying shock. The moon had vanished from the sky. Thick darkness draped everything like a heavy black blanket. Even fireflies couldn't light the path, and animals huddled, fearfully in their burrows. "What happened? Where's the moon?" Freddie cried anxiously, hiding under a lily pad. Mia gathered her friends under the ancient Eldrood Tree. Oliver declared gravely, "The moon's disappearance threatens the night's balance. We must find the cause before fear reigns forever." Benny the bear suggested, "Maybe the black clouds from the distant mountains swallowed it." They ventured toward the mountains, carrying lanterns made of Eldrood's glowing leaves. Along the way, fierce winds roared like angry lions, and slippery rocks tripped their steps. But Mia remembered her shadow lesson. Fear alone makes obstacles seem larger than they are. Upon arrival, they discovered a massive black cloud devouring the moon's light. Inside it, they heard a strange whimper and met Lumen, a tiny blue creature sobbing. "I'm tasked with guarding the moon, but I failed. The evil cloud will destroy it." With Oliver's wisdom and Mia's courage, they devised a plan. Whiskers used her speed to rally golden fireflies. Spiders spun strong webs to bind the cloud. Freddie leapt atop it, flashing green lights to intimidate it, while Lumen unleashed blue magic that shattered the cloud. The moon reappeared, smiling, as the forest erupted in cheers. Lumen said, "Without your bravery, we'd have lost the moon forever." Mia added, "Darkness teaches us that light blooms from unity." Chapter 23. A Friend from the Dream World. On a warm summer night, as Mia lay beneath the stars, she noticed a small door of purple light floating above the pond. Approaching cautiously, a soft voice whispered, "Mia, can you help me?" She stepped through the door into a strange world where trees shimmered pink and fish flew like birds. There she met Lumi, a star-like creature and guardian of children's dreams. A wicked darkness is stealing beautiful dreams and replacing them with nightmares, Lumi said urgently. "I need your strength to restore hope." Mia learned nightmares fed on children's fears. With Oliver's help, they devised a plan. Mia would enter the dream of a boy named Adam and teach him to turn his monster nightmare into a playful game. Inside Adam's dream, A giant monster chased him through a dark school. Instead of fleeing, Mia jumped before the monster and shouted, "Let's play hide and seek! If you find me, I'll hide you somewhere prettier." The monster laughed, transforming into a friendly bear, playing with Adam. When Adam awoke, he wrote Mia a note. "Thanks for making my nightmares silly." With this victory, darkness retreated from the dream world, and Lumi glowed brightly again. Lumi told Mia, "You taught me fear loses power when we play with it." Mia replied, "Dreams are like shadows. They need the heart's light to reveal their beauty." Chapter 24, The Soul Mirror in the Dark Lake. On a quiet night, as Mia watched the stars' reflection on the pond, she noticed something odd. A patch of purple light glowing from the depths, like a magical beam. A mysterious voice called, "Who dares gaze into the soul mirror?" Mia traced the source and found an ancient mirror adorned with unknown symbols floating on the water. Oliver cautioned, "This mirror isn't ordinary. They say it reveals the truth of whoever looks into it." Despite her fear, Mia took a deep breath and asked, "Who am I truly?" In an instant, the mirror opened like a portal. Mia found herself in a dark realm, lit only by ghostly memories. Flashes of her fears surging like waves, and her inner voice whispering, "You're weak." But suddenly, new images emerged. Mia playing with shadows, rescuing Whiskers, dancing at the Firefly Festival. Mia shouted bravely, "I'm not weak. I build my own light." The darkness around her shattered, and the mirror reflected a new image. A courageous cat with a golden halo around her heart. When she returned to the pond, Oliver awaited her proudly. "What did you see?" Mia smiled radiantly. "I saw my light, and it will never fade." Chapter 25, The Mystery of the Source. Less sounds. On a stormy autumn night, strange noises echoed through the forest. Creaks like ancient doors slamming, and a continuous moan, resembling a creature in pain. The animals huddled fearfully around Eldrood Tree, as Mia declared, "We'll never know the truth unless we explore." Mia, Oliver, and Freddie set out to investigate. With each step, the noises grew louder, and the wind twisted tree branches like dancing ghosts. Suddenly, they stood before a massive rock carved with cryptic symbols. "This rock was never here before," Freddie whispered, trembling. Using wisdom from Oliver, they employed the soul mirror to unveil the rock's secrets. As the mirror's light hit it, the rock split in half, releasing a cloud of glowing butterflies carrying a message. Sounds are nature's riddles. Listen with your heart to understand them. The butterflies followed the wind's path, revealing the noises were caused by dry branches rubbing together under the gale's force. Mia laughed. "We feared the unknown, but the truth was simpler than we imagined." Before leaving, Mia carved on the rock. "The forest speaks the heart's language. Learn to hear it." Chapter 26, The Secret Garden That Grows at Night. One night, while following a trail of fallen stars, Mia discovered a place she'd never seen. A secret garden nestled with violet flowers, glowing like fireflies, and trees bearing blue light, fruits. "This garden doesn't exist by day," she whispered in awe. A soft laugh echoed, and a girl in a dress, woven from night leaves, emerged from behind a tree. "I'm Luna, guardian of the secret garden. These flowers bloom only under moonlight and die if sunlight touches them." Luna pointed to a wilting flower and said sorrowfully, "A greedy tree is draining the garden's energy. If we don't stop, it, everything will perish." The tree, resembling a serpent with black branches, seized the chance to devour a violet flower. With Oliver's help, Mia devised a plan. Using the soul mirror, She showed the tree its ugly reflection, making it tremble and retreat. Luna then plucked a single flower and placed it in the tree's trunk, transforming its black branches into golden ones, spreading a royal fragrance. At dawn, the garden vanished like a dream, but one violet flower remained with Mia as a promise. That beauty grows, even in the darkest nights. Chapter 27. The Race Against Dawn. On a rainy night, as Mia listened to Oliver's tales of distant planets, a strange squeak emerged from an old wooden box under the oak tree. Inside was a violet butterfly named Luna, her wings glittering like a starry veil. "I'm from the dream world. If I don't return before dawn, I'll lose my colors forever," she urged. Despite the storm, Mia vowed to help. Oliver carried her on his back toward the dream gateway. Racing against time, they flew through torrential rains as Luna warned, "Look, the sun is rising behind the mountains." A sudden turn brought them face to face with a black cloud blocking their path. Mia used her firefly necklace to illuminate the way, and Oliver skillfully navigated around it. But dawn was faster. Sunlight touched Luna's wing, turning violet to grey. "Don't give up," Mia shouted, leaping from Oliver's back to shield Luna. Suddenly, the necklace exploded into golden light, and fireflies hummed a magical melody that slowed the sunrise. Luna slipped through the gateway just in time. Back in the forest, Mia and Oliver found a message. "Thank you for saving my colors. Remember, the brightest light shines from brave hearts." Chapter 28. The Secret in Oliver's Eyes. On a quiet night, as Mia asked Oliver about the secrets of the planets, she noticed his golden eyes shimmering with an otherworldly light. "What's this glow in your eyes?" she asked curiously. Oliver replied with a mix of wisdom and sorrow. "My eyes see what others cannot. Memories of the past, secrets of the future." Suddenly the light flickered, and his eyes turned blood red. He whispered urgently, "A new danger approaches. Something dark creeps toward the forest." Oliver gathered the friends and revealed his vision. "I saw an ancient enchanted tree awakening, rejecting all light." The team headed to the Veil of Oblivion, a forgotten realm where trees hoard their secrets. Along the way, they faced toxic fog, blinding their path, and ghostly voices trying to scare them. But Mia used the soul mirror to reveal the truth. The fog was the tree's illusion to protect itself. At the destination, they found a colossal tree with black branches shrouded in violet light. Oliver said, "It's afraid to love, so it chose darkness." With tenderness, Mia told the tree her own story of fearing the night and learning love. The tree wept, shattering into 1,000 golden butterflies, spreading light across the forest. Before leaving, the tree whispered into Mia's mind, "Love is the only secret that conquers all fear." Chapter 29. The Night the Tree Spoke. On a moonlit night, as Mia and her friends rested under the ancient Eldrood Tree, they suddenly heard rustling leaves transform into soft whispers. "Look out! The trees are speaking!" Freddie shouted in alarm. Mia turned and saw green lights glowing in the tree trunks, like eyes opening after a long slumber. An old oak tree spoke with a voice like a murmuring river. "We hold the memories of centuries. We've witnessed civilizations fade, children grow, and stars fall to become flowers." A willow tree swayed gently, adding, "But humans forget our tales. They cut us down, leaving the earth barren." Mia felt a warm tear fall on her fur. She asked urgently, "How can we protect you?" Eldrood replied, "Carry our seeds. Plant them where forests die. Each seed carries a fragment of our history." Its ancient trunk split open, releasing a golden seed, shimmering like starlight. Mia cradled the seed and vowed, "I'll plant it wherever hope is needed." At dawn, as the sun rose, the trees sang a farewell song, sorrowful, yet brimming with hope. Chapter 30. The Temporary Farewell. On a cloudy morning, Oliver gathered the friends under Eldrood Tree. His voice was heavy as storm clouds. "I must leave for a distant forest to share night's wisdom with those who've forgotten. I'll be gone a month or more." The forest fell silent. Then Mia burst into tears. "I can't live without you. Who'll teach me the stars' secrets?" Oliver wiped her tear with his wing. "You're not the fearful cat I once knew. Eyes that see in the dark, fear no solitude." Before flying off, he gifted her a branch from his hidden tree, shimmering like liquid gold. "This branch will remind you I'm with you, and that darkness isn't goodbye, but a chance to nurture the heart." In the following nights, Mia felt emptiness, but Freddie and Whiskers helped her recall Oliver's lessons. Once, as she sat with Tilly, the kitten said, "I'm not scared of night now, because you teach me to be like you." At midnight, Mia saw Oliver's shadow swiftly pass overhead, dropping a leaf inscribed, "Absence teaches us to find light within." Chapter 31. The Secret in Mia's Long Shadow. On a moonlit night, as Mia played with Tilly by the river, she noticed her long shadow no longer mimicked her movements. It danced independently, like a living creature. "Look, my shadow has a mind of its own," she cried in panic. The shadow approached slowly, morphing into a black cat with golden eyes identical to Mia's. It spoke in a breeze-like whisper, "I'm part of you, here to teach you to embrace every aspect of yourself, even those you hide." Mia initially refused. "I hide nothing." But the shadow pointed to her water reflection. "See? You exaggerate bravery to mask your fear of failure." Mia blushed, admitting, "Sometimes I fear I'm not as strong as everyone thinks." The shadow led her on a forest journey. At Eldrood Tree, it showed how its twisted branches weren't weakness, but proof of resilience. At the pond, starlight reflections formed a giant heart. The shadow said, "Light and dark are both you. Embracing them makes you stronger." On their return, they met Freddie failing to leap high. The shadow laughed. "See, Freddie isn't ashamed. He knows each try brings him closer to success." Mia realized perfection isn't required. Persistence is the key. At dawn, the shadow vanished, leaving Mia a mirror inscribed, "The loveliest secrets lie in embracing our flaws." Chapter 32. Emily joins the adventure. On a clear night, as Emily read a space-themed book in bed, her window tapped gently. She looked up to find Mia perched outside, wearing her shimmering firefly necklace. "Want to seize the night?" Mia whispered with wide, eager eyes. Despite her fear of the dark, Emily agreed. In the forest, they met Oliver, Freddie, and Whiskers. The group embarked on a journey to Mountain of Lights, rumored to hold rainbow glowing stones. But a path was shadowy, and eerie noises unnerved Emily. Suddenly, Emily froze. A massive spiderweb glistening with dewdrops blocked their way, guarded by a black spider with emerald eyes. "I can't go on! The spider will eat me!" she screamed. Mia nudged her forward. "Spiders aren't monsters. They're artists weaving homes. Look, she's protecting her eggs." Oliver added, "Fear paints evil where none exists." Hesitantly, Emily approached. She noticed the spider trembling too. "It's too tiny to eat me," she laughed. They sidestepped the web carefully and continued. At the summit, they found the glowing stones. Emily clutched one and said, "Fear was bigger than the truth. Thank you for teaching me that." Chapter 33. The Winds That Carry Messages. On a stormy night, as Mia and her friends returned from the Mountain of Lights, she noticed something peculiar. The wind whistled specific tunes, as if trying to send a message. She asked Oliver, "Do you hear that? It sounds like the wind is speaking." The wise owl replied, "Wind isn't just air. It's an ancient language, carrying distant whispers. Let's follow it." They traced the sound to a fallen tree, where a small fox, named Forks, shivered from cold and hunger. "I'm lost. I lost my family in the storm," he whimpered. Mia suggested, "Let's use the wind to send a call for help." They gathered dry leaves and drew simple symbols. "Forks is here. Help us." Oliver lifted the leaves high with his beak, and the wind carried them away. Hours later, distant howls echoed. Fox's family followed the scent. Fox hugged his parents joyfully, then told Mia, "I thought darkness was my enemy, but it brought me friends." Before leaving, Fox's family taught them to send secret messages using wind and symbols. Emily wrote on a leaf, "Friendship is a light no wind can blow out," releasing it into the air, where the wind cradled it gently. Chapter 34. The Mystery of the Blue Light in the Cave. On a stormy night, as Mia and her friends sought shelter, they noticed a faint blue glow coming from a cave hidden behind willow trees. Freddie trembled. "They say a monster that devours light lives here," but Mia insisted, "We'll never know the truth unless we explore." They entered the cave bravely, guided by Mia's firefly necklace. Inside they gasped. The walls were covered in blue crystals, shimmering like earthly stars. Oliver marveled. "These crystals hold the moon's energy. They can calm the soul." Suddenly, a terrifying roar echoed from the depths. Whiskers froze. "Is that the monster?" But the sound was merely wind, whistling through a narrow crevice, turning the crystals into magical melodies. Mia laughed. "Imagination tricks us, but beauty is real." The team collected crystals to help other animals overcome fears. Outside they found a dying wolf. Mia placed a crystal near him, and his wounds healed, eyes gleaming with gratitude. The wolf said, "I thought darkness was evil, but it gave me a miracle." Before leaving, Emily carved on the cave wall. Light isn't always what we see. Sometimes it's what we feel. Chapter 35. The Lost Diary of Bella. While exploring hidden shelves behind Eldrood Tree, Mia found a dusty leather journal with Bella etched in faded gold letters. Opening it hesitantly, she discovered entries from a cat named Bella, who, like Mia, feared the dark but succumbed to isolation. Bella's final message read, "To whoever reads this, no darkness loses power when we share our sorrows. Find the golden flower in the forgotten grove's heart. It's the key." Mia vowed to finish Bella's quest. Guided by the journal's map, they ventured into a shadowy, uncharted part of the forest. There, an ancient tree stood guarded by a fence of shadows, hiding a golden flower that glowed like a miniature sun. But the shadows thickened, warning them away. Oliver said, "These shadows aren't enemies. They got old. Pain," Mia suggested, using the blue crystals from the cave. When sprinkled around the fence, the shadows melted into smoke, transforming into black butterflies, carrying visions of Bella's past, her joy, despair, and failed attempts. Mia touched the golden flower, unleashing a burst of light that bathed the grove. Bella's translucent ghost appeared, smiling. "Thank you. You freed me." She vanished, leaving the flower to sprout golden saplings, illuminating the forgotten grove. On their return, Mia wrote in her journal, "Sometimes, the bravest act is giving hope to those who lost it before us." Chapter 36. The Mysterious Disappearance of Whiskers. On a sunny morning, Mia couldn't find her little friend Whiskers by the pond. The sun hid behind grey clouds, and the forest felt eerily silent. "Whiskers, where are you?" Mia called, her voice trembling, but only echoes replied. Oliver and Freddie joined the search. They found tiny paw prints leading deep into the forest, where trees tangled like devil's fingers. "This is unnatural. This area's forbidden for guarding ancient secrets," Oliver warned. Cautiously, they pushed through thick branches. They heard creaks like unlocking doors and saw yellow light speckling the leaves. Suddenly, a secret path adorned with stone carvings appeared. "These carvings look like a puzzle trail," Mia said, tracing the lines. At the trail's end, they discovered a magical realm, the Forgotten Grove, where fish flew and flowers hummed melodies. In the center, Whiskers danced with luminous butterflies, laughing like a child owning the world. "Whiskers, you scared us," Mia cried, arms wide. The kitten turned innocently. "I didn't vanish. I was finding myself. The butterflies taught me fear melts when we chase it." Whiskers pointed to a golden-branched tree. "This tree teaches strength, like you." Mia's eyes welled. "But I feared losing you." Whiskers replied, "You'll never lose me. Darkness isn't an enemy, it's a teacher." Chapter 37. The Nighttime Froze. On a quiet night, as Mia and Whiskers played near Eldrood Tree, they noticed the moon had halted in the sky, and falling leaves froze mid-air like glass beads. Even the river's murmur ceased, and fireflies hung motionless as golden engravings. "What's happening? Time's frozen!" Whiskers cried. They rushed to Oliver, frozen mid-flight, with wings outstretched like a statue. "Magic is at play," Mia whispered, recalling Bella's diary. "Time flows like a river. Its power lies in its continuity." Mia sought answers. In the blue crystal cave, they found a giant hourglass suspended in air, its golden sand stagnant. Wall carvings read, "Who controls time loses its moments." At Mia's touch, the hourglass glowed blue, projecting translucent screens of their memories. Meeting Freddie, rescuing Whiskers, even Mia's first fear of darkness. Mia realized time froze because someone wanted to escape the past. She cried, "Time isn't an enemy, it's a gift. We must embrace every moment, even the hard ones." Sand suddenly cascaded, the moon resumed its journey, and fireflies danced anew. Oliver landed beside them. "Today, you learned the present alone holds the power to change." Before dawn, Mia wrote in her journal, "Fear not time's march. Every second cradles a miracle's seed." Chapter 38. The Secret in Mia's Name. On a quiet night, Mia flipped through an ancient book found in a hidden chamber beneath Eldrood Tree. Within its weathered pages, she discovered strange symbols discussing the meaning of names in an old star language. Among them was a drawing of a white cat resembling her, labeled Mia, a name meaning courage, in the tongue of the ancient stars. Courage, Mia whispered in awe, as the book suddenly trembled, its pages fluttering. Like luminous butterflies, a mysterious voice echoed, "Your name is your light, but you must understand it to own it." Determined to unravel the secret, Mia followed a map in the book to a remote forest clearing with a giant stone carved with a cat symbol. When she touched it, the stone split open, revealing a dark tunnel. At its end stood a white wolf with moonlight eyes. It growled, "To pass, you must conquer your fear of yourself. Who are you truly?" Mia recalled the book's words. Mia, courage. She closed her eyes, imagining light bursting from her heart. Instantly, the chamber blazed with golden radiance, and the wolf transformed into a starlit being, declaring, "You've uncovered your secret. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but walking through darkness with it." At dawn, Mia wrote in her journal, "My name isn't just letters. It's a promise to be stronger than any fear." Chapter 39. The Final Gift from Eldrood. After the ancient Eldrood Tree's departure, Mia and her friends found a tiny golden seed, glowing where its trunk once stood. A message in luminous script read, "This seed carries the forest's soul. Plant it where darkness quenches hope." Mia decided to plant it in the Valley of Silence, a barren, shadow-cloaked wasteland. But the animals feared. What if the seed fails? What if it attracts monsters? Cried a trembling rabbit. Mia replied firmly, "Eldrood believed in us. We won't betray her trust." Oliver, Freddie, and Whiskers joined her on the perilous journey. At the valley, the cracked earth resembled a sorrowful heart, and the air weighed heavy with despair. Mia dug a hole gently, whispering, "You're not just a seed. You're a new world's dawn." Suddenly, fierce winds carried Eldrood's memories, visions of the forest's vibrant past. Mia's tears fell on the seed, unleashing golden light that wrapped the valley, transforming dead soil into fertile ground, pulsing with life. Days later, a sapling sprouted silver leaves that whispered the stars' language. "Eldrood isn't gone. Her soul lives in every leaf," Oliver said. Freddie leaped joyfully. "Darkness fears new life." That night, animals gathered around the sapling, singing gratitude hymns. Mia wrote in her journal, "Death isn't an end. It's a seed planted in the hearts left behind." Chapter 40. The Meeting with the Mother Cat. On a rainy night mirroring the one that began Mia's journey, she sat with Emily under the new Eldrood Tree when a faint voice called through the mist, "Mia, my child." Mia trembled. The voice echoed a memory buried deep in her heart. From the trees emerged a grey cat, with golden eyes identical to Mia's, though scarred and weary. "I'm your mother," the cat whispered hoarsely. "I've searched for you since the storm that made you fear the dark." Mia collapsed, tears soaking her white fur. "Why did you leave me?" Her mother replied mournfully, "The storm was cruel. I tried to find shelter for you, but I got lost and thought you'd perished. When I returned, the house was empty." Memories. I flooded Mia, fleeing through rain, hiding in wooden crates, fear curdling into nightmares. Her mother added, "The dark wasn't your enemy. It shielded you. Look." She lifted her paw, revealing a deep scar. "A wolf attacked us that night. The dark hid me until I escaped." Mia realized darkness hadn't betrayed her. It had been her guardian. Mother embraced daughter for the first time in years. "You're braver than I ever was. You learned what I failed to teach myself." In that moment, the last chain around Mia's heart shattered. At dawn, the forest creatures gathered, fireflies lighting their path home. Mia wrote in her journal, "Finally I understand. Fear was a bridge to love, not a prison." Epilogue. The Eternal Light Festival. Years after overcoming fear, the forest creatures gathered under the new Eldrood Tree, now towering with golden branches, glowing like daylight. Mia, a wisdom teacher, stood before them, her firefly necklace shimmering Once, I hid from the dark, but I learned light isn't born from emptiness. It's our will to see beauty in shadows, Mia said, her calm voice wrapping the forest in warmth. The festival began with fireflies singing a chorus, while luminous butterflies painted magical shapes in the sky. Freddy the Frog leaped over lily pads, showing young ones how he turned his fear of daylight into pride. Whiskers, now a bold adventurer, shared her tale of finding strength in the dark cave. Oliver returned from his journey, soared above the crowd. This forest is no longer a place of fear. It's a home for the light we carry inside. He pointed to Eldrood Tree, its trunk releasing golden seeds that scattered like hope-filled messages to the world. Emily concluded by hanging a glowing pendant on the tree. Fear may start the story, but courage finishes it. That night, as Mia sat with her mother under the stars, she whispered, "Finally I see. Darkness was just a mirror, reflecting my soul's light. Thank you for being part of this adventure. Join our enchanted world on the channel, Fantasy Narrator, where stories come alive in the colors of night and stars. What awaits you? Tales wrapped in darkness, revealing the heart's light, unforgettable characters, teaching you that imagination is the mightiest weapon. Lessons on courage and friendship, spoken in the language of magic and fantasy. Hit the bell icon to be the first to hear new stories. Subscribe now. Fantasy isn't an escape from reality. It's a bridge to building a more beautiful world.